Yo, good morning, everybody. So the MLB show is at 11:30, same time. But I figured I'm just sitting in here looking at NBA stuff. I'll just go live for an hour and run through it on here. I don't have a single NBA bet placed today yet. I was looking last night for kind of a while too, and I don't know if I just couldn't focus, but I couldn't find anything. So I figured let's just run through, see if we can find something. We're at the point of the season where the most important thing to look at is standings. Who's playing for something, who isn't. Good morning, everybody. All right. So first up is Chris B said he's going to try to join, so we'll see if he's able to make it. He said he wasn't going to be ready for 10:30, so Chris might join us midstream for the NBA. I told him no big deal if he couldn't make it because it didn't sound like it was definite that he was going to be able to. So let's look at Bulls, Knicks. Probably should get the standings. All right, Bulls, Knicks. We know the Bulls aren't playing for anything. Knicks could get the 2 seed with a win. And I would imagine the Knicks want the 2 seed. I know that there's a lot of talk of, do you even want the 2 seed in the Eastern Conference? Do you want to play Miami over an Orlando or an Indiana? But the thing is, down here, the 5 through 8 right here is a complete coin flip. Miami can still get the 5 seed. So the idea of the Knicks don't want the 2 seed because they don't want to see Miami, or the Bucks don't want the 2 seed because they don't want to see Miami. We don't know where Miami's going to end up here. All 4 of these teams right here, Magic, Pacers, Sixers, Heat, all 4 of them could finish in any of these 4 spots. So the Heat could be 5th, 6th, 7th, or 8th. The Sixers could be 5th. There's so much riding on these games that I think that's bullshit of being they don't want the 2 seed. So let me run a poll for this game. I'm going to be using the comments a lot because I don't have a single NBA bet. I don't have a single bet down, period, today. So I'm going to be using the comments a lot to see what you guys think. What are you guys doing on this one? Under, says KO. Let me look at this. Last 5 games, pace 30th and 17th. Bulls looks like they're speeding up their pace a little bit. They're 28th on the season, but in the last 10, they're 20th. In the last 5, they're 17th. But obviously the Knicks, super slow pace. Let's look at Knicks, ATS since April 1st we'll do. So Knicks have been over, under. So Knicks 6-1 to the over in their last 7. What about Bulls? Over, under. Yeah, so I don't. What is the total even at here? Total's at 216.5. I don't know. I mean, how motivated are these teams going to be to play defense if we're going to go under? I mean, I don't like the under, to be honest. Yeah, we could just check here. See, model likes the over. 114, 111. Yeah, I guess this would be one where if you want to go with the experiment that I did on Friday, add Bulls money line as one of your bets. But I mean, the Knicks at home in Madison Square Garden right before the playoffs, they're going to be fired up. So it would be a pass, maybe an over a pass. I would lean over, to be honest. But let's go to the next game. Raptors Heat. All right. Let me grab my. All right. Also, I got to get the injuries up here. Raptors Heat. Here we go. Raps aren't playing quickly. Pirtle. RJ Barrett's going to play today. And Gary Trent. So the Raptors aren't resting everybody. Miami, no Terry Rozier, no Duncan Robinson. Have the Raptors been putting forth any effort, though? They just lost by Miami lost to Miami by 22. Lost to the Nets by 4. It's so bad. Like, what the hell am I supposed to do with this? Still running a fast pace, the Raps. Other than that, though, yeah, there's no way. Raptors will just be another one to put in the moneyline parlay. I'm not going to spend time talking about that game. No, this is the MLB show, but the MLB show doesn't start until 11:30. But I was just sitting here looking at NBA, so I figured I'll just go live. So the NBA, you know what? Maybe I'll put the countdown up so people can see that. So it starts in what, 54 minutes? I don't even have, the countdown starts at 30 minutes. So yeah, this is the MLB show. Toast will be on later with me. But we're just going to go through the NBA because I didn't have time is not the word. I didn't have a guest or anything, and no one really wants to talk about the NBA. So I didn't really schedule a whole thing for it. It's just something extra we're doing before. Here we go. Bucks Orlando, and I think a lot of people like the Magic here. Here's a game. You got a meaningful game. Two teams, in theory, both need a win. So this is one we could actually take a second and talk about. All right. Damn it. I keep forgetting my thing. All right. Problem is, Orlando really doesn't look great recently. Okay, so look at last 5 games for Orlando. They're 26th in efficiency. This team has been terrible. 20th in offensive rating, 27th in defensive rating, against the 17th strongest schedule. So the Magic are playing their worst basketball of the season right now. So I know everyone's like, oh, the Magic need this game. They want to stay out of the play-in. I understand that. But even without Giannis, the way the Magic have been playing, I don't know if I could trust that team at all to lay points to Milwaukee. Let's look at the Magic last few games. Got beat up by the Sixers, got crushed by the Bucks, got crushed by the Rockets. I mean, the Magic are 1-4 in their last 5 games. Their only win was against the Bulls. This team lost to the Hornets. Now all those games are on the road. They're back at home now. But even at home, they beat the Bulls. I don't know, man. And look at the Bucks' defensive interior here. At the rim. 5th and 11th in the last 5. And I know Giannis is out, but Brook Lopez and Bobby Portis can both play defense. Dude, I think, honestly, the Bucks is... See if the Bucks ruled anyone else out. Lillard's probable. Obviously, no Giannis. It looks like other than Giannis, though, everyone's going to play. Do you guys really think that the Bucks don't want the 2 seed because they're scared of the Heat? Do you guys really think that's a thing? See, look, Bucks don't need this game. You don't think the Bucks want the 2 seed? They're cool dropping to the 3 seed? Because I know everyone looks at the first round matchups, right? They're like, oh, the Bucks don't want the 2 seed. Okay, well, if the Bucks drop to the 3 seed and they win in the first round, then the second round is on the road. They don't have home court advantage in the second round. They would have to go to New York. So I call bullshit on that. I think I would lean Bucks here. Everyone's taking the Magic. They've looked so bad. What's the Bucks record without Giannis? Let's see. 4-4. Including an 18-point win over Orlando without Giannis. So the Bucks are 4-4 this season without Giannis. I think it's a sneaky spot to play the Bucks, to be honest. Yeah, I think I like the Bucks there. I'm writing that one down. Just a pure fade of what everyone's doing and a sell on the Magic. I don't think the Magic are very good right now. So yeah, I like Bucks. Washington at Boston. These games, man. Wizards plus 9.5. Celtics minus 9.5. Here are the pie charts, by the way. You can't really see them the way I have it set up. Maybe I'll put it like here, the countdown. Yeah, like right there. So yeah, let's look at Bucks Wizards, but this is going to be a quick one, obviously. I mean, Wizards Boston. I'm sorry. Hey, here we go. Jordan Poole questionable. Kuzma's not going to play. Tyus Jones isn't going to play. Everyone's sitting for the Celtics. Brown, Holiday, Horford, Porzingis, Tatum, White. So the starting six there. Their main six pieces all sitting for Boston. Still laying 10 points. That's how little. How do you not just take the Wizards at that price? Celtics aren't playing anybody. But someone said for the Bucks, the third seed gives them the easier match, and home court advantage is overrated. We don't know if it gives them the easier matchup. The Heat could still get the 5 seed. The Heat are sitting in the 8 seed right now. They could still get the 5 seed. We don't even know who's going to be in those spots in 5 through 8. It all depends on what happens today. So that's what I'm saying. Like the Bucks are down to lose because they don't want to play the Heat in the first round. We don't know where the Heat are going to be. The Heat could be in 5. The Heat could be in 6. We don't know. The bottom half of the Eastern Conference. I disagree. I think this game is very meaningful. I'm good with just skipping to the next game. I'll go Wizards there, though. You're going to lay 10 points with this team? Pritchard, Springer. Oh, shit. Chris made it. What's up, man? Not much.
You're not live yet?
No, I'm live.
Oh, you are live. Okay.
You are live too now.
Yeah, let's do it.
So I went through 3 games, the 4 games actually. The only one so far, I think I'm down to bet Milwaukee. I know everyone's gonna hate that, but
yeah, I'm on opposite side. I didn't bet it though, but I like Orlando to bounce back here.
Orlando's trash right now, and I think the idea that the Bucks don't want the 2 seed is some bullshit. We don't even know where the Heat are going to be. They're trying to avoid the Heat, but like we don't even know where the Heat are going to. The Heat could still get the 5 seed.
So Kyle, real quick, can we talk about can we just spend like 30 seconds on that? Like the idea that these teams are trying to avoid other teams without knowing before where the other team is even going to finish.
Exactly. Yes. Let's talk about that. That's crazy.
Yeah, I need your professional opinion on that as well.
Yeah, well, it doesn't make any sense of why the Bucks would sacrifice home court in the second round and possibly the Eastern Conference Finals, depending on who's there. Well, actually, it wouldn't be the Eastern Conference Finals, but sacrifice home court. Well, actually, it could if they drop to the 4, but to sacrifice home court advantage to avoid a matchup that we don't even know if that's what that matchup's gonna be. To avoid, we're assuming the Heat are going to get the 7. Where does that come from? The Heat could still be the 5. The Heat could still be the 6. We don't know where the Heat are going to be. Also, who the hell would talk about giving a team a mental edge? Like, if you're the 2 seed and you just showed the 7 seed, we're scared of you. Is there a softer move than that?
So, Kyle, look, I DM'd you on Twitter. This guy named Mike. I want to make sure I give him credit. I have no idea how to pronounce his last name. I think it's Michael Shintique or something like that. He has like this breakdown that I went through on my show earlier of where every team could finish, like based on every potential outcome. So I just DM'd it to you on Twitter.
I'll bring it up on the screen.
Yeah, if you want to bring it up on the screen. But Cal, what about what I know the Bucks just beat this Orlando team, but that was at home. Orlando was on the second leg. Both teams on the second leg of a back-to-back the other day. But Orlando had to travel. Milwaukee didn't. And Orlando is much better at home than they are on the road, whereas the Bucks are much worse on the road than they are at home. I think evident by that 50-point loss against Oklahoma City Thunder the other day. And I'm not saying that Orlando is anywhere close to that, but don't you kind of take that into consideration? That's one of them, Kyle. 4 of them all together.
Well, I figured I'd bring up the one that says Milwaukee, Orlando on it.
Right. So there are the possible outcomes. With I think the way that it reads is if the team that's in the matchup there with the team that wins, you just kind of slide across and it'll show you what seed they end up in.
Yeah. So the Bucks are in the 2 seed if they win. See, the first 4 4 rows are the 4 instances if the Bucks wins. If the Magic win, then the Bucks could drop back to the 4, the 3, or still get the 2. So yeah, that's what that means. And the idea that they are avoiding the Heat, not knowing where the Heat are going to finish. I mean,
see, that's the thing I try to take out of it, Cal, because I'm like avoiding the Heat. I don't think Milwaukee is necessarily trying to avoid the Heat, but I do kind of feel like Orlando. Remember, we said this at the beginning of the week, Cal. Orlando started the week as the number 3 seed in the Eastern Conference, and they could finish as high as 2 or as low as 8. And remember, I said this on your show the other day. They're trending more towards 8. So, do you really want to lose 4 games in a row going into the play?
I don't think they want to lose. I just think they might lose.
You just think that they are?
I think Orlando's playing their worst basketball this season, and a lot of times when we get down to this time of the year, we start seeing who teams really are. We saw it with Oklahoma City 2 years ago and last year a little bit, where it's like you could beat up on these veterans during the regular season when they're pacing themselves. But now we're at the point where it's like, okay, can you really play with these teams? And I think this could be the final exclamation point. Like, oh, Orlando was just a really good regular season team, and I like the Bucks. I do.
So we be on opposite sides here, Kyle. I think, and this is the biggest factor to me. I agree with you. A lot of your analysis, because I don't think that I said this earlier in my show. I don't think the Magic gonna win the title or anything, right? They're a really good defensive team that can struggle to score the basketball, right? And I think that's eventually what's going to show itself in one of these matchups. But I'll say this, Kyle. At home, this team is the 3rd best home team in this. Like, it don't matter who come in there either. Like, they win games at home, and 3rd best home record in the Eastern Conference. Whereas you look at the Milwaukee Bucks on the road, I think they're 18-21. I just feel like I feel like it has to be
but those numbers you just read are based on what was happening in October, November, December, January. And look at Orlando's last 6 games at home. They beat Chicago, barely beat Portland. They beat Memphis, lost to Golden State, lost to the Clippers, lost to the Kings. So I just think Orlando is not the team right now that they were all year. And I think with the veterans on the team, players on the team that have been on playoff runs before, I think right now the Bucks are the better team. But there's no Giannis, which sucks. But
no Giannis and on the road.
Yeah.
And you're gonna get Orlando's best effort, I think, in this point, especially coming off 3 straight losses. Finally getting back home, like, I think the spread is what it is for a reason, Kyle. So we'd be on the opposite side here, but I didn't bet it though. Didn't bet it yet.
Yeah. Sauce doesn't know NBA basketball. Comes from a guy named Ball is Life. All right. Hawks at Pacers. Man, I wish I did my my experiment the other night. Would have worked. Would have hit the Jazz. Didn't do it. For those of you that weren't tuned in Friday night, I said I was going to bet 5 of these huge dogs, and I don't remember. It was like, I don't remember what they were. It was like
it was Grizzlies.
Grizzlies plus 850, Raptors, Jazz, and I was going to bet $200 on each one, and as long as one wins, I drew a profit. So basically it was I bet $200 on each. I was going to do it. I didn't do it. on each of these big dogs, thinking at least one was going to win, because the end of the NBA season is very unpredictable, and it's tough to predict what kind of effort you're going to get. So maybe this would be one of those spots. Hawks certainly looked all right. They almost beat Minnesota the other night. Now let's see who's playing for the Hawks in this game. Whoops.
I saw Capella listed as questionable.
It looks like Young and Murray are going to play. So straight up, no Jalen Johnson. I really would like Jalen Johnson in there for the Hawks to get to the rim. But, I mean, 14 points. I know the Pacers need this game, but this isn't a team that you could really count on winning by margin. They don't play consistent defense.
I said the same thing. I said the same thing, Kyle.
Trae Young and DeJounte Murray. Yo, tell me we're taking the points.
That's the only way I would play it. I know it's a meaningful game. Like, maybe the Pacers want to come out locked in. But 14 is a big, big number for a Pacers team that really struggles defensively. Remember, I was on the Pacers on Friday, Kyle, against Cleveland, and they just couldn't get stops. I mean, Cleveland looked like a top 5 offensive team all of a sudden again. And, I know being at home, that should be, they should be a little bit more locked in. But, yeah, 14 on the road. I think as ugly as it sounds, Kyle. So Kyle, look, your shot zones, right? When we think about shot zones and I think about Atlanta offense, what do? Shoot a ton of threes, right? We know that the Pacers have been doing a much better job of defending the three-point line. I kind of wanted to get there with the under in this spot. I think if Atlanta scores, it's going to be a little difficult. But it's the last game of the season. Like, I don't know if I want to, go too deep into those waters. But to me, it feels more a little bit like an under spot. Also, Trae Young kind of getting worked into the offensive rotation. If the Pacers are going to be, like really locked in like they said that they're going to be, it will be on the defensive end here. So I kind of wanted to get there with the under. 239 that's a lot of points, Kyle. That's literally 120 to 120 here.
Yeah, and I'm looking. Not going to be many turnovers in the game. I mean, Hawks have trouble protecting the basketball, but that should be better with Trae Young back. And Indiana doesn't force turnovers. Indiana does a great job protecting the ball. Probably not going to be offensive rebounds either. Well, actually, maybe on the Atlanta side, but Atlanta does a great job of the defensive glass. We don't expect a three-point shot to be there for the Hawks. Yeah, I mean, under sounds cool. The only thing that worries me is, right here, pace. Last 10 games, 5th and 8th. These teams like to run, and doesn't matter if the defenses are playing well. If they're running fast enough, the over's going to hit. So, yes, I guess probably under would probably be – no, actually, I like the Hawks.
Like the Hawks?
Yeah, I'm adding that to my list. Bucks.
Okay.
Hawks.
Yeah, it's Hawks or nothing for me here too. Like I think 14 is a tad bit too much.
Yeah, that's crazy. The idea that, I guess it's based on you think the Hawks are just going to give up, which they might. I don't know. It's just this time of the season's crazy. Brooklyn at Philly. I mean, I'll run a poll real quick, but we don't really have to spend any time talking about this. Sixers at home. The Sixers look great at home because of what the Sixers went through this year with Embiid missing a chunk, and they were so bad for a while, and now they've fallen all the way down to the seeding. They're trying to get out of the play-in. Sixers can still get the 5 seed. So Philly could still win, jump right out of the play-in into the 5 or the 6 seed. So, yeah, I don't see the Philly taking the foot off the gas here. It would be Sixers or nothing for me.
I agree, Kyle. I think I didn't get to the window with this one, but team total over is 114.5 right now. You talk about this offense and how well it's been. I think they were a top 5 offense over the last 2 weeks here, Kyle. 120 against the Magic, which are
playing defense too.
Yeah, right. That's my point, right? 120 against the Pistons. They did only score 109 against the Thunder, but that was the game that Maxey didn't play in. And the one thing I looked at, Kyle, was I looked at the Nets after the All-Star break as road dogs. And granted, this is a game that, I think they'll throw away. It's the last game of the season. Like, this 1-2-3 Cancun in their lineups here. 3-8 against the spread, losing by an average of 12 points. But specifically towards that team total, Kyle, this Nets defense is giving up 113.8 over 11 games as road dogs after the All-Star break. You're telling me that Philly can't score one more point? I think Philly team total, just to kind of stay away from the spread, would be the play in this game if I had to play one, but didn't like this money yet either.
What worries me a little bit about the Sixers here is right here. Last 5 games, 30th in strength of schedule. So here I was saying Philly looks great, and they do. They've played the easiest schedule in basketball analytically in the last 5 games, 21st in the last 10. So maybe slightly overvalued, but still, I mean, we know this Philly defense rips turnovers. The Nets can't protect the basketball anymore. Where are the Nets going to score from? They're going to try to score at the basket? Nets are taking 32% of their shots at the rim. Philly first. The last 5 games, the Sixers have the best rim protection in basketball. I don't know where the Nets are going to score from in this one. And so, yeah, it would have to be Sixers here. Or if you want to go with the old bet the big dogs, hopefully one of them cash, maybe throw the Mets money line on your shit, but I'm not doing that.
That work out.
Yeah, maybe like a Philly first half or something. I don't know.
Could see that too.
So yeah, Poll agrees that Philly would be the move. Next game, Charlotte, Cleveland. Cleveland can still get the 2 seed themselves.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'll run the poll. I don't even have anything to say about this game. It would be Cleveland minus 13, I guess. I'll just pull it up, but I'm down to just skip.
Yeah. It's difficult, Kyle, right now because Charlotte got pretty much the rest of their starters on the injury report. Brandon Miller, Bridges, Grant Williams, and Nick Richards all listed as questionable here. Without Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges, I think Charlotte could struggle to get to 70 points. Like this is already an offensively struggle, like a team that struggles to score the basketball. And granted, their offensive numbers have been good recently, but a large part of that is due to Brandon Miller and Miles Bridges, in my opinion. And then on the Cleveland side, you got Karis LeVert, Donovan Mitchell listed as out, and Darius Garland doubtful. So what that tells me is that Coach JB Bickerstaff thinks that Cleveland's going to win this game regardless. So even if those guys don't play, like you said, super difficult game to play. And even on the total, like I would need to know if those Charlotte guys are going to play, and I would much rather play the total than the side in this one with a big number. In Charlotte, like I said, they probably win the game either way, but it's not anything that I'm playing.
Yeah, let's just move on. I have no interest in it. With no Mitchell, no Garland, I mean, who's going to be the primary ball handler in Cleveland?
No Levert, Kyle. Yeah. Garland is still doubtful, but he probably won't play either.
I'm assuming no Garland, doubtful. So also no Dean Wade, no Merrill. So a lot of pieces on the perimeter missing for Cleveland, but I still wouldn't be surprised if they beat the Hornets by 30. So
I agree.
Next, Rockets Clippers, interesting one here. Now, if you're wondering what's going on with the line, the Clippers are playing for nothing.
Mm-hmm.
They are locked into the 5. Even if they win and tie the Mavericks, they don't have the tiebreaker. Or hold on, let me pull it up to make sure. But I'm pretty sure what I just said.
You're right.
That was right. Yeah.
Yep,
so
right.
the Clips are playing for nothing. Let's see if they have an updated injury report here. When I looked earlier, it looked like they were playing their guys, but
Harden was questionable and Kawhi was out. That's the only thing I saw.
Yeah, so here it is. Oops. So yeah, James Harden questionable, Kawhi out. I guess they're expecting the Clips to just pull their guys in the middle of this game because even without Harden and Kawhi, the Rockets are just terrible. No Van Vliet.
No Dylan Brooks.
No Dylan Brooks. What? Why are we laying 3 points with the Rockets here? Unless they're expecting the Clips to just pull everybody at halftime or something.
Yeah, which could happen. Which could definitely happen. Makes it tricky in these games. But you're right. It's a meaningless game. And we saw, Cal, like you said on Friday, we saw the Clippers lose outright to the Jazz as 14-point home favorites in that game. So it's definitely a game that I'm not willing to bet. But the Rockets did open as favorites, and now the Clippers were +3, and now you see the line come down. So meaningless game, I think, for both teams. And this was one of the ones that I kind of put on the back shelf because I have no idea who wants to win, how many points they're going to score. I think in these meaningless games, I always kind of lean towards the over just because I don't think defense is going to be played. Clippers don't want to get hurt, especially knowing that they got Dallas coming up in the first round. They've already kind of been cemented into that spot. And Houston, we saw them on the road give up 125 points to the Utah Jazz with nobody the other day. So yeah, it's a game I would lean a little bit more towards the over. Bones Highland's probably being there playing a lot of minutes, and some of those backups for the Clippers. With no Dylan Brooks, of course, that's a little less defense on the floor as well, especially if you get Harden in. So I guess I lean a little bit more towards the over, but not a game that I played.
Yeah, totals at 221. That seems low, especially with the Rockets missing Van Vliet. I know that's some offense missing, but also Van Vliet's a great perimeter defender. Obviously in a meaningless game, but you never know what kind of. I saw Jock Landale come in one time when I faded the Rockets, and I think he had like 5 blocks one game in a game where I faded him. So Landale can play some defense at times too. Yeah, I kind of want to bet the Clippers just because I feel like they're not going to want. Someone said in the comments they're going to want to get the taste out of their mouths from that loss to Utah before the playoffs. I think that makes sense, and that's what I was thinking as well. You know what? I'll add Clippers to my list, but I'm putting an asterisk next to it as a big maybe. All right. No, I'm not doing the big moneyline dog theory today. It's called a theory now. The big moneyline dog theory? Speaking of which, though, Mavs are catching 19.5. All right, so if you're wondering why the line is what it is, let's go ahead and oops.
I got it, Kyle. Kleber, Exum, PJ Washington, Derrick Jones Jr., Gafford, Luka, and Kyrie all out. So not only the starters, but some of the backups out as well. Whereas OKC just took Giddey off the injury report last night, so I think OKC has a fully healthy roster as far as who they have been playing recently.
And obviously, we know Oklahoma City playing for more. Oklahoma City can still get the 1 seed.
1 seed, yep.
Yeah. They're in the 1 seed. So Oklahoma City in the driver's seat here for the 1 seed. And if you didn't hear what he just said, here it is on the screen. All these pieces out for the Mavs. Here's the projected rotation. Yeah. There's is that AJ Lawson from UConn? Does it say his
your guess would be better than mine.
Does it say his college? Never mind. Got sidetracked there. So yeah, Oklahoma City also kind of looked like they shook the cobwebs off a little bit. This is a no bet for me. I'm down to just skip to the next one.
Yeah, I think based on motivation, like you said, Kyle, especially what Denver did against San Antonio the other day, to me, I think OKC comes out, his smashes early, doesn't even, probably rested their starters in the second half. I would be looking towards OKC first half. I know that the line is pretty big. It's 11.5, but they should be winning by 15, 20 points at halftime versus this version of the Dallas Mavericks to go ahead and solidify themselves as the number one, not just the number 1 seed in the Western Conference, but also to win their division. So to me, it feels like, this will be the first time OKC won their division since when, Kyle? I think this is a big game for OKC here. Granted, the number is big, and I'm not laying the 20 with them here, but I think first half for them to kind of go ahead and get the game out the way is probably in play here.
Yeah, and I was saying that when we were kind of suspecting Oklahoma City of punting on the season, I was saying that. I think a 1 seed would be huge for the franchise. Through the rebuild to get the 1 seed, I think it means something for them. So
Mark Daigneault as well, winning Coach of the Year. Like this probably, solidifies him a little bit more than Jamal Mosley down in Orlando.
Right. All right. Now we get to a game here. All right. Let's pull up. I haven't looked at this one yet. Haven't betted. This is like a live decision-making session because I didn't bet anything before I came live. But this is a game I know we want to look at. It's a big one.
Let's dive into it, okay?
Yeah. So let's see what we got. All right. So, Suns, first in strength of schedule, last 10 games. First in strength of schedule in the last 5. We know the Suns are a jump-shooting offense, mid-range. They've been shooting a lot of threes. Plays into the weakness of Minnesota's defense. Solid start there. Any injuries I need to be aware of?
Phoenix had nobody, and Cat and Anthony Edwards are both listed as questionable for Minnesota.
Wow.
Yeah, which is why this line came down, Kyle. This line was actually at 3.5 in favor, and now it's down to 2.
That makes it tough.
Mm-hmm.
You take Phoenix at this short line; those 2 guys are ruled in. Then all of a sudden, it closes at 5.5.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Yep.
Let's look at some recent games here. Phoenix. There we go. All right, so we know Phoenix has definitely been a lot better. They had these little hiccups here, but as a whole, they went on the road to beat the Kings, went on the road to beat the Clippers with no Kawhi. I want to take the Suns, man.
I said the same thing, Cal. I said the same thing on my show. Like, it just feels like a winnable game. If this was Game 7 of the Western Conference Finals, Cal, what team would you take? Especially with Cat coming back in and like potentially messing that offense up. They just won by like 3 points against Atlanta.
I'd be taking the Suns. And
yeah, me too. I said the same thing.
I like this here too. I noticed this like a week ago. The Suns started playing some defense on the interior. Look at this. In the last 10 games, 4th in the paint in efficiency, 8th at the rim. That's against the strongest. They're first in strength of schedule. So it's not like they're locking down the Spurs or the Wizards. They've played the strongest schedule in the NBA in the last 10. They're playing good defense on the interior. And the reason that's huge, this is a Minnesota offense that's pretty reliant on scoring on the inside. It's not the best jump shooting team.
I said the same exact thing.
Let's go Suns. Screw it. Screw the line.
Same exact thing. I can't get this team right to save my life, Cal. And I know you can't either.
Me neither, man. For those of you who don't know, Suns have been my least profitable team this year to bet. I've lost more money on the Phoenix Suns than the other 29 NBA teams. So, tail my Suns bet with hesitation. But yeah, I like the Suns. Let's move on to the next game. Pistons Spurs. Weird one here. Why would they schedule this non-conference game on the last game of the season?
They thought it was going to be Wemby versus Cade, and neither one of them playing.
I guess, but usually, at least in most sports, they try to end the season with like a big series where in case they're in the playoff run. They didn't do that
well,
here.
They knew they weren't going to be in the playoff
run. Right,
yeah,
true. That's very true. So, yeah, Spurs -5. I guess we can go ahead and let me get my screen capture here. We can take a look at some injury reports to start. Let me guess.
Wemby's
a bunch of questions.
Wemby's out. Yeah, Wemby's out. Malachi Branham's out.
Osman's out.
Questionable. Yep. Keldon Johnson's out. Which is crazy that you would think about laying 5.5 with San Antonio without any of those guys. I mean, they just lost. They got smoked by OKC. By
what the hell?
The other day.
But I mean, if Cade and Durant don't
points
play,
with Detroit, right? Yeah. Exactly. What are you doing here, Kyle?
Holy shit!
And it's meaningless game for both teams, right? I don't think either team can benefit from winning this game, right? Let me just double check it real quick.
Well, Spurs and Portland are locked in the standings, so if the Spurs win, they would jump Portland as far as the lottery goes. But like, I hate even looking at shit like that and trying to. Because like a lot of times people make more of it than what it is, you know.
Yep. So the Spurs chasing the Hornets and the Blazers for improved odds at the number 1 through number 6, the lottery pretty much, and then the Pistons holding off the Wizards for improved odds at number 5.
Right. So if the Pistons win and the Wizards lose, would the Wizards get the number 1 spot in the lottery or whatever?
I would think so. Yeah, I would think so.
All right, screw this. I don't even want to talk about that. I hate talking about like who wants to lose. Like I hate that
more.
Shit.
Yeah. No, I'm with you.
Warriors. Let me update the countdown. The MLB show is in 22 minutes, guys. So people asking. So that countdown on the left is told the MLB show. So Jazz Warriors next. Jazz +8, Warriors -8. Pass. No, yeah. Someone said baseball started in 9 minutes. I'm sorry. My countdown only goes up. This countdown right here only goes up to 30 minutes. So I had to just put it at 30, even though it was more than that. But anyway, Warriors, Jazz, Golden State. How high can they jump here in the stand? Oh, let me get the screen capture so people can follow along. So how high can Golden State jump here in the standings?
I think they can go to 8, right, Kyle? Yeah, they can go to 8, but there's only one scenario.
Lakers don't have the tiebreaker over Kings or Warriors. So this is a must-win for the Lakers, meaning the Warriors have shit to play for here because they could potentially jump to the 8. Right, you're right. So, yeah, Golden State definitely playing a meaningful game here. Utah definitely not playing a meaningful game at all. Let's see what the injuries look like on either team.
So real quick, Cal, it was reported yesterday by Underdog that Steve Kerr came out and said that they could rest all. He could rest all the starters.
Why? Why would he do that?
Because I think that they think they could probably beat the Utah Jazz without him, which is why you see them only laying 8 points, right? Like, shouldn't this line be like 15.5, like all the rest of them?
They could beat the Utah Jazz with no Steph, Clay, Wiggins, Green. I mean, I'm not saying they can't, but I don't know.
I think so, yeah. I think so.
All right, so who's in the starting lineup for Golden State then? Moses Moody.
Moses Moody, Brzezinski,
Jackson Davis.
Jackson Davis. Like, they just went with defense. Gary Payton II. Like, yeah, I think they still got enough to win.
I mean, of course they could still win, but it seems like a hell of a gamble in a game that theoretically you need to win because you can jump all the way. You can jump all the way up and potentially get a home game in the play-in tournament, or only need to win one. There's a big difference between the 8 and the 9.
I said the same thing, Kyle, but this is the other thing, right? Remember we talked about this. Does Golden State really want to host? Right? Like, do they want to go on the road where they've been such a better team, or do they want to play that game at Chase? I think they want to play on the road. I give you the fact that they probably want to you want to finish 7 or 8 rather than 9 or 10. Absolutely, right? But there's only, if you go into that, go to that DM I sent you, Kyle, there's only, based on what I'm looking at, it's only one scenario that would put, with Golden State losing to the Pelicans on Friday, I think there's only one scenario that puts Golden State in a position where they could finish at 8.
Hold on, so where's Golden State?
The Laker and Pelican one.
Oh,
that
right
one
here,
right there.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah. So I think there's only one scenario that puts them where they could get the number 8 seed, and that's with the Pelicans winning, Portland beating Sacramento, which is probably not going to happen, and Golden State beating Utah.
So, all right. So in order for Golden State to get the 8 seed, they need the Pelicans to beat the Lakers, which is very possible, by the way.
Right, but Portland beating Sacramento? And I think Coach Kerr knows this, which is why.
I see what you're saying. So if they're saying they rested everybody because more likely they're playing for the 9 and to play a home game against Sacramento or a home game against the Lakers, and they'd be down to play either of those teams on the road. I guess I could see that. I still say it's a little thin, but I guess I could see that.
Can we also point out, Kyle, that whoever plays Sacramento in the play-in, like no matter 7 through 10, just automatically wins the birth of a playoff round with Sacramento. Just like, can we also point out that who the winner between, no matter how today goes, whoever finishes is in 7 through 10. The team that plays Sacramento wins, like the whatever, they win the day if you get Sacramento in the playoff. Come
on, bro. What's with the disrespect towards the Kings?
It's no Monk. They're 3-7 in their last 10, 0-3 in their last 3. They're the Orlando Magic of the Western Conference right now. Yeah.
Maybe. Or they also, but I mean, I was really impressed with what the Kings did in the playoffs The Golden State played well, and the Kings took them to 7 games last year.
That's true.
No
That's
Monk,
true, but that was with Monk.
Yeah, no Monk hurts.
No herder.
Also, look at the schedule. Phoenix, New Orleans, at OKC, at Boston, at New York, Dallas. There's definitely Kings have been playing some teams.
Yeah, odds makers weren't.
Man, I'll be Team Kings. I'll bet you in the play-in tournament, Kings. I got you. Everyone else is bailing on you. I got you.
Yo, who you taking them to beat the Lakers without Malik Monk, Golden State, or Phoenix?
It's a tough sell. Well, it depends on where they end up.
Mm-hmm.
If they end up at the 9 or 10, it's tough. But if they end up at 7 or 8, that means they have to lose twice in a row. I could see them winning the second game.
Okay.
Portland at Sac. Speaking of the Kings, obviously this is one we don't have to spend a ton of time of. Only 3 games left. Wow, we're like right on time too. 3 games left, and MLB starts in 16 minutes. Perfect. So I could basically pull up the same graphic for the Kings to show you the playoff scenarios there. The one that Chris sent over to me on Twitter. Let's bring it over. So here's what the Kings are looking at. If they win their game, they can go as potentially up to the 8 seed if New Orleans beats the Lakers. So really not as meaningful. Definitely a meaningful game for the Kings, but they do need help because they're in the 9 seed. Or let me pull it up. Yeah, they're in the 9 seed right now. Most likely, they're going to end up in the 9 seed as well. Even if they lose, they have a good chance of staying in the 9. So maybe not as crazy meaningful a game for the Kings as we originally thought. That being said, is there anybody playing for Portland? Like Ayton might not play. Scoot might not. Yeah. And these are the only 2 pieces left because Simons has been out for a while. Yeah. Jabari Walker might not play. Brogdon, Grant, Thibault. I mean, if Scoot and Ayton don't play, who is getting the minutes on this team? Good Lord.
Yeah, it's going to be bad.
Yeah, I mean, there's no way I'd lay 17 with the Kings, but this game, screw it. Let's just hit end poll and move to the next one.
What did the poll say?
43% said Blazers plus 17.
Jesus. Boy.
Yep. Denver on the road at Memphis. And this is another one where who knows what kind of rotation we're going to see from Memphis. They seem to have, I think Jaren Jackson Jr. even sat out in the last one. They still almost beat the Lakers.
Yep.
So let's go ahead and pull up some injury reports and all that for Denver.
Got everybody listed questionable again.
Yeah, in case you, I'll zoom in case you can't see my screen. So, where the heck's Denver? There we go. Denver's got the whole team listed as questionable. So, yeah, we can go ahead and then here's who's sitting for Memphis. We can go ahead and skip this one. And then last game. Here we go. Now, this one we will spend the remaining time talking about. Huge game. Meaningful game for both teams. Let's get our playoff scenarios out first, because we definitely need those for this game. It's Lakers, Pelicans, and here are the playoff possibilities. All right, let's get the poll running. I went back and forth. This is one of the games I spent a lot of time looking at because obviously it's probably the biggest game of the night.
You gave the Lakers some back and forth, guy?
Yeah.
Okay.
What if you remember? I think you were on the show that day when everyone was taking Golden State -4 against the Pelicans, and I was like, guys, be careful. This is we're going to see the Pelicans' best fastball, and it was good. They came back. They came from behind and won. Potentially Ingram's back. We don't know about that, right? That's still up in the air.
Listed questionable. Yep, listed questionable.
We saw when the Pelicans, if Valanciunas plays well and with Zion slash into the basket, that is a tough team to stop. And I think people may have forgotten that the Pelicans this is a pretty good team. Here's the injury report, by the way. Oops. For Pelicans Lakers. Obviously, we expect everyone's going to be out there for the Lakers. LeBron, AD.
They're not even questionable today, Kyle.
Yeah,
they're probable.
And for those of you that haven't been following the Lakers, Gabe Vincent's back in the rotation. Not sure how much he moves the needle, but he was nice in that playoff run with the Heat. Gabe Vincent can play, and I feel like people forgot that. But here we go. We got Ingram might be back for the Pelicans, and it's kind of like repeating what I just said the other night. Like, guys, I know everyone wants to take Golden State -4, but this is the biggest game of the season, biggest game of this organization's history or in the last 5 years. So we're going to see the Pelicans' best fastball. That's what I said the other night against Golden State. They beat the Warriors in a game that Golden State would have liked to have. If Golden State won that game, they'd be in a completely different position right now. So we're talking the Pelicans at home. I don't know if necessarily it's a layup to just take the Lakers. Are you taking your boys here?
If I had to play it, Cal, I definitely would be. I didn't play it though. I didn't play it. I want to see how the smoke clears and the dust settles here. But I do think, meaningful game like this, Cal. I don't like that Brandon Ingram's coming back if I like the Pelicans either. This team has been in a groove without him. They just went into Phoenix and won that game last Sunday. They went into Sacramento, won that game. When they were 1-point dogs and everybody was like, oh, this is a difficult game. They went in and won that game by double digits. And then they go into Golden State on the second leg of a back-to-back against the rested Steph Curry, who didn't play the night before against the Utah Jazz. And not Clay, I'm sorry. Draymond and Clay didn't play the night before against Utah. But when I look at the splits, Kyle, like, and I don't think you can just look at the splits. But when I look at the splits for the Pelicans, I didn't understand. I don't think I paid attention to how well they played on the road versus at home. Remember when Ingram went out? That's when they started losing, right? They had that homestand where they had like 5 or 6 games in a row at home, and they lost pretty much every single game. I know we were both on the on them against the Orlando Magic, and the Magic came in there and won the game. They lost, I think, all of those games except to the Bucks, and a couple of those games they definitely should have won. So all the chips pushed into the table here, Kyle. I think if the Lakers are super motivated to win this game, I do think that they get the win here. But like I said, it's not a game that I bet, and it's a difficult game to bet. I agree with that as well, because the Pelicans, I do think they didn't do all that hard work just now for nothing. Winning all those games in a row to get themselves out of the play-in, right? So it's a very difficult game to bet. But I think at 3.5, I'd be taking the points with the Lakers, thinking that even if the Pelicans won, it'd be a very closely contested game here.
Look right here. 3-point shooting. Lakers defense, Pelicans offense. The Pelicans have been hitting their outside shots here. In the last 5 games, 34% of their shots have been above the break threes. They're hitting 42.5% of them. Here's the Lakers defense against the 3-point shot.
Terrible.
Yeah. Man, I know.
Can they make them at home, though? Can they make them at
home? Hey, Toast. I just hear you in the... I want to take the Pelicans here. I'm putting it down. I'll be the only one in the world taking the Pellies.
You won't. I think there's a lot of people that want to fade the Lakers.
Let's see. Well, actually, yeah, the poll is trending towards Lakers, but not overwhelmingly. 51%, 39%. Someone asked, what's the Pelicans' record against the Lakers this season?
They won that home game, but they got smoked. But in the play-in game, remember the play-in tournament game? And then I think the Lakers might have beat them before that too.
So the Pelicans are 0-2 on the road in LA, 1-0 at home in New Orleans.
Mm-hmm.
So
that was the get-back game.
Yeah, it was actually on New Year's Eve. The Lakers went on the road to New Orleans and got the shit beat out of them. They lost by 20.
Yeah, that was the second leg of a back-to-back. The Pelicans. I was on the Pelicans in that game. But Cal, you were on the Lakers against the Pelicans when the whole world wanted to fade the Lakers early. I don't know if you remember that game. I barely remember you being on the Lakers when nobody wanted them against this Pelicans team, and they blew them out. It wasn't even close.
Yeah, that was the Pelican. I remember that game you're talking about.
Mm-hmm.
I lean Pelicans, so I'm putting an asterisk next to this one. I definitely want to bet it, but there might be a chance that it's just me doing some gambling rather than me thinking like, oh, I have an angle. It might just be this is an awesome game, and I want to bet on it. But yeah, that's all 15 NBA games. Chris, thanks for taking the time, man.
Absolutely.
We don't even need to do a community parlay or anything. These games are trash.
Yeah.
But yeah, well, let's switching it over to baseball. There we go.
Appreciate you having me on, Kyle. Best of luck today, man, with NBA and baseball. I'll catch you guys next time.
For sure. Let's get Toast on the screen. Good morning.
Oh, good morning. Good morning.
Do I not have a... Where's my... There we go. All right, let me take a quick piss. We got 15 games to go through. It's Sunday, but we'll still go through them.
You gonna leave me here to the Wolves? I don't know what to do with these people. Braves fans? That's what I got for you. Well, not the fans, the Braves. Just a shit team. God, I hate that team so much sometimes. I hope everybody's had a good morning so far this Sunday morning here at 7 a.m. here in Alaska time. Here, I'll wake this. Oh, here, comments. Fuck yeah, we're betting the Brew Crew today. Daniel Capasan, you goddamn right. Reagan's first 5 run line. Sauce went to bed. Blah blah blah. We're going to talk about the Marlins. We will talk about the Marlins. That's for sure. Can't smoke a bowl right now, Bennett. A little too early for me. I got to wake up.
Tried to tell you to bet Houston yesterday. Tried to tell you.
Yeah.
My first 1.52. My first 1.25 unit bet of the year. Strohs. Let me get some nicotine in.
I've only made one full unit bet all year.
I went 1.25 on the Strohs.
I went 1.38 on the pods the other night.
Yeah, that's right. Okay.
And they were both like easy winners. Both of us, they won like.
Well,
10...
actually, that Houston game was close for most of it, though.
No, I know, but at the end, it ended up getting real dirty, real fast.
It got ugly. Pirates plus 150. Phillies minus 190. So we got no prop Beaver today.
Under the weather, a little strep throatage.
Yeah, I suppose. So, Zach Wheeler, Mitch Keller. Who ended up winning this game yesterday? It was 3-3 late. Who ended up winning?
The Padres, or the Phillies, they did a walk. Nick Castellanos walk off. Not a home run or anything. They had the bases loaded.
All right, so I'm going to pull up some bullpen usage. All right, Phillies. All right, it's bullpen usage. What do we got? Phillies should be good. Alvarado and Hoffman could go in back-to-back days.
Yeah.
Pirates are going to have no Chapman.
No Chapman. Bender's been yeah. I'm the price keeps on going up. I was on Philly's first 5 run line at minus 125. It's moving and moving and moving. I don't even know what it is now, but it was pretty juicy once I got to it. But yeah, I look, first and foremost for Zach Wheeler, he's one of the guys that I love to bet on no matter what. He's taking 2 straight losses his last 2 starts. He hasn't been pitching really bad at all. 13 total innings, 10 hits, 4 runs. He had 1 run against Cincinnati, 10 strikeouts, 1 walk, and they ended up losing that game late. And then against St. Louis, same type of situation. He went 7 innings, gave up 3 runs. He actually pitched really, really well. And the Phillies didn't even score that day. So he gave up 1 run in the 4th, 1 run in the 5th. So had the Phillies gave him a little bit of run support, that wouldn't even look that bad. So he has really good history against this Pirates team. His last 5 starts against them, he's only given them up 3 runs 1 time. His last 2 starts against them, I guess in 2023, 10 total innings, 16 strikeouts, 2 walks, 2 runs. I mean, he's really dominated this team. And then Mitch Keller on the other side doesn't have terrible numbers in any way, shape, or form against the Phillies. I just don't really trust. I understand that the Pirates are playing well. Like, I get that. So when I say I don't trust the Pirates, you don't have to tell me, oh, but Toast, they're playing well. I get it. They played well for a month last year, too, and then they ended up finishing last in that division. So do I trust the Pirates? No. I'm sorry. They are playing well. I don't trust this team. I've tried to get behind Mitch Keller, and it's kind of blown up in my face a couple times. So I'm really kind of good there. I think this is a Phillies win. The Phillies need this one. They got Wheeler on the mound. I think they take this one at home.
Is there anyone I could potentially pair Phillies money line with?
Yeah.
What about?
Yeah.
What about Toronto? Rockies already got their win in that series.
No, yeah, I was just about to say that. Yes, Toronto would work.
Let's see what the odds are for Phillies and Blue Jays parlay.
It's funny that you said that. I was looking at that myself right before you finished a little bit early. It should be plus like 115-ish.
Why isn't FanDuel letting me load up?
Yeah, 116 on FanDuel for Phillies, Blue Jays, moneyline parlay.
All right, so plus 116.
Yeah, so that's probably Phillies, not bad.
Toronto moneyline parlay plus 116. I ended up with 5 NBA bets written down in my notes, and I went into that stream thinking, "Hey, we'll go through the games." I ended up with 5 possibles on there. Yeah, so it sounds like I'll put a Toast Phillies up for Toast. Sounds like he's thinking the same thing, but all right. Let's go to the next game. Poll is on the Phillies also, by the way. Next up, Brewers Orioles. And look, I know everyone loves Corbin Burns, but who wants to step in front of the Brewers train right now?
Dude, so many people. Like, it blows my mind how many people are on Baltimore today. Like,
wait, hold on.
Confidently on Baltimore. Confident.
Well, and I'm not even saying Baltimore doesn't win. They might win, but just so like people understand what's going on, the Brewers have the best record in baseball. They're the number one lineup against right-handed pitching in baseball, and they're the most profitable team in baseball. So, like, part of me wants us to say, why would I stop betting the Brewers? I took them again last night at plus money. They paid me again. This team just cannot stop hitting.
Look, you just said it. I don't care who's on the mound for the Brewers or for the Orioles. And first of all, Colin Ray isn't even that bad. Like, let's just take a look under the hood. His first 2 starts this year against Seattle and against the New York Mets, 11 total innings, 3 runs. I mean, that's pretty damn solid. I mean, he's not striking a whole bunch of guys out. That could be a little bit of an issue. But last year he went and faced this Baltimore team. Let's check out and see how he did. 5 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 8 strikeouts, only 1 walk. So Colin Ray has a little bit of success against this Baltimore lineup. What does it suck that Milwaukee's never really seen Corbin Burns? No, not really. I don't really worry about that too much. A lot of these guys in the lineup have seen him. Not to mention the fact that, like Kyle just said, this Baltimore team is very good, and they're very good at home. But this Brewers team is one of the best teams in baseball right now. Not to mention the fact that look at their run scoring total over their last few games. So they scored 12 runs against Seattle, 8 against Cincinnati, and then 9, 7, 11, and 11. 11 back-to-back 11-run games against this Baltimore team. So there's not even a reason to think they're going to slow down. They did it in Cincinnati. They did it in Seattle. They did it in Baltimore. There's just no way in hell I can pass this price up. So I'm playing the Brewers first 5 and full game. There is no way in hell I'm passing up this price with this team. They are way too hot for me to not take plus 160, both first 5 and full game. So, yeah, I'm playing first 5 and full game. Don't even care.
Yeah, I'm definitely taking the Brewers here, but we're playing with house money at this point.
Exactly.
The Brewers keep paying us out. Eventually, it's going to lose. So it's not the Brewers aren't going to win 130 games, but this team continues to pay us. So I'm at the point where it's like I don't even care about the matchup. Just keep bet. They're not just paying us; they're paying us a plus money, plus 125 last night for the hottest team in baseball. I couldn't even. The line was weird. Yeah, I'll bet the Brewers again. I'll keep betting it until it loses, right?
Yeah, I've been betting the Brewers essentially since they played Seattle, and I've lost twice. I've won 5 or 6. So, and 4 of them have been at plus money.
Yeah. So 61% on the Brewers. So community agrees with us. Just keep riding the hot hand until it misses. Eventually, it's going to miss, but even when it misses, we'll be up significantly.
And that's all about baseball, guys. Like finding little edges like that and trying to stack those little edges up over time.
Right. All right. So, Angels, Bo Sox. We were off on this one.
Whew.
Oh, wait. I was off. You didn't have the Angels, did you?
It would have been Angels or pass for me. I'm pretty sure I did. I actually might even have bet the Angels. Yeah, I did. No, 100% I did. Yes, I did.
I definitely bet the Angels, and I lost with the Angels. That was my only loss, though. I went 3-1. Here we are again, kind of the same situation, but the shoe's on the other foot. If you remember yesterday, if you watched yesterday's stream, I was saying we were talking about the line. It was Angels minus 115. Boston had a spot starter on the mound. They were missing O'Neill. They were missing Devers from the lineup. Why was there the Angels minus 115? So we're saying this line is weird. I'm thinking the same thing, but the other way. Only minus 130 at home with Bayo against Tyler Anderson. 2 starts. Wait, hold on. 2 starts, and all of a sudden we're going to say, oh, Tyler Anderson's reliable?
Okay, yeah. I was just making sure that you knew that he had 2 good starts. That's all. Because that was, I think that we're getting
it's not like Tyler Anderson. We know Tyler Anderson. He's been in the league a long time. So,
I know.
So how do we not blindly take Boston minus 1? Is O'Neill and Devers back or no?
Devers has a sore shoulder. He is not. But O'Neill is back. Casas is back. Yoshida is there. Durant is there.
Then, right?
100%. I have a full unit on Boston.
So you have not put a full unit on many bets so far this year.
I do not, but there's one thing that I do like, and it's Brian Bayo. I understand he doesn't have the best splits during the day. Beaver has did a very good job of detailing that, and I respect that. But I also respect the fact that Tyler Anderson hasn't given up a run in back-to-back starts. That's 14 total innings for the Angels starter. 8 strikeouts, only three walks, no runs. And last year when he came into Baltimore, he went 4 innings, gave up 6 runs. Now, I will say that team, that if anybody watched that game or was a Boston fan, yes, a lot of the people in that lineup that gave him trouble last year aren't there, with Verdugo and Justin Turner and Ruff Schneider. But those guys only had a couple hits. Devers did some damage. Casas did some damage. Wong did some damage. So there's somebody else that was in the lineup too. But anyway, regardless, Tyler O'Neill's one of the better hitters in the league right now. So even without Devers, I think him taking it is replacing that. So yeah, I just think this is a really good spot for Brian Bello to come in here and pitch really well. He's pitched not very well against. This is a team in Anaheim that, remember last year, he faced them really, really early in the year, their home opener, and he got kind of lit up. I expect him to pitch much, much better here today at home. So yeah, I'm on the Boston at a cheap price. Yeah,
I mean, and we might even be getting a buy low spot on Bayo. I guess everyone forgot what he did last year too. But someone asked about Boston's bullpen usage. They have everybody. Jansen hasn't pitched in 2 days. Chris Martin hasn't pitched in 3 days. So they should have everybody. Maybe no Winkowski, but he threw 28 pitches yesterday. I bet you if they really need him, that he could go. So
he could go. And honestly, that Justin Slayton guy is pitching really well right now. So as long as he's available, who hasn't pitched in the last 2 days, I'm good with that. So yeah.
Someone said dirty water, more like ass water. Isn't that the point?
They would probably find that as a compliment.
Yeah. The Angels just won that poll.
Wow.
Someone want to put a reason for the Angels here? What do you guys like, Tyler Anderson? Angels gonna crush the Red Sox. Can I get like a what do you like here? In my opinion, the Red Sox have the lineup advantage, the pitching advantage, and the bullpen advantage.
Because you want essentially with this lineup, you want the Red Sox facing a lefty, because that's the Casas side, O'Neill power side, Dahlbach power side. Yeah.
So people like the Angels. All right, cool. You know what? I might. In fact, now that I know that I thought the Red Sox would be super public. Now that I know it's not. You know, I put an asterisk next to it. Put a few extra dollars, a few extra dollars on it. All right, Colorado, Toronto. We'll run the poll, but I think what me and Toast both decided we're looking to do is parlay the Blue Jays money line, pair it with something not crazy about putting a ton of trust in the Blue Jays bats. And you know what? I did just parlay the Blue Jays money line I paired them with somebody, and the freaking Rockies beat them. I lost that a full unit because they lost to the Rockies. So what we said earlier was let's pair the Phillies money line with the Blue Jays money line at plus 116, and that sounds good. But considering the fact that I just got bit in the ass trying to do something similar on Friday night, I think there's a chance that this doesn't end up on my ticket. But it would be pair the Blue Jays money line. The Rockies got their win of the series. They got it. I don't think they're coming in Toronto and winning the series. So I'll put Blue Jays up for under my face. But my official position would be Blue Jays or pass here.
Yeah, trust me. If you guys know me, you know if I could get to Colorado in any way, shape, or form, I would. Especially on a Sunday, I'd be on Colorado. But it's just really hard to get there. Jose Barrios has been really, really good for Toronto. Even going back to last year, he started really pitching well. So I understand that there's kind of like this negative narrative around Jose Barrios, but he's starting to pitch very, very well. I mean, his last two starts
last year too. He was.
I know, but there's this idea that Jose Barrios is just terrible.
Where did that come from? Like, he's good,
and I don't agree with that. So anyway, I expect him to pitch really well. He's pitched really well his back-to-back starts against Houston and on the road against Seattle, then on the road at Houston. 12 and 2/3 innings, 10 hits, only 1 run, 8 strikeouts. He had 3 walks against Houston, which is kind of rare for him. So I expect that to be cleaned up here today. Kyle Freeland doesn't have like terrible numbers this year, but I'm sorry, he does have.
I was going to say his ERA is 16.
I meant to say that he didn't have a terrible start his last time out against Arizona. He got absolutely shelled his first 2 starts on the road. Unfortunately for him, this is where this start's going to be. I don't know how you pitched worse on the road when you were home, his Coors Field, but it is what it is. In his 2 road starts, it's a little under 6 innings, 17 runs. In his 1 home start, 5 innings, 4 runs, or 2 of them only 2 of them earned. So Yeah, it's just really hard to get there behind the Rockies today. Trust me, I tried, but there's no way.
Yeah, Toronto are past for me as well, and it seems like the viewers feel the same. 65% Toronto, 14% over. A lot of people like the over here.
Yeah, I couldn't.
Yeah, me neither.
Not with these lineups. I mean, I get it. I know that's an easy, like, oh yeah, over. They're gonna score a whole bunch of runs, but I could see Toronto winning this game 3-1.
I was just gonna say 4-1. Braves at Marlins. Now, if you're looking for a spot to take the fish, you got Luzardo at home.
I'm gonna go first 5.
You are taking the fish.
Yeah, just small. We're getting Luzardo off of an absolute clunker on the road at Yankee Stadium where he just got absolutely shelled. He has his last few starts against Atlanta, pretty damn good. 17 total innings, only 3 runs, 25 strikeouts. I mean, so he's pitched really well against this Atlanta team. It's not like he's going to be facing this Atlanta team and having an oh shit type of moment. And then not to mention Charlie Morton. Last year he came into Miami, they tagged him up. I understand it's not the same team, but he's been hit or miss this year himself. He looked really good against who? The White Sox. He went 5 2/3 innings and didn't give up a run. And then he faced the Mets at home and then he got shellacked. So I don't think that Charlie Morton's a bad pitcher. I just don't know how much we're going to get out of him on a Sunday afternoon in Miami. And I have every reason to believe that Jesus Luzardo is going to try to pitch his ass off. And obviously Miami facing the Braves, always trying to play spoiler. So I played Miami in the first 5. I get it, but I do think there's a little bit of an advantage there.
A lot of people in the comments are saying they like the Marlins plus 1.5 today. I'm pretty sure at plus 130, you're going to get a shitty price on that, though. I'm not saying I hate it, by the way. I'm not, but I do. Marlins plus 1.5. Oh, no, minus 120 on Caesars. That's not bad.
Yeah, but you're still laying minus 120 to, I don't know.
Well, because you know what I was thinking here is this. Oh, my God. Where the hell? I swear, my over-under graphics are gone. I don't know where the heck they went. I have them always right here. And then Prop Beaver and Andy go into my files. There it is. This is where I was thinking. An under.
Braves, I don't hate that.
Braves bats are not playing their best right now. Luzardo's better at home. Charlie Morton actually looks somewhat formidable, and he's pitching against the Marlins. So this is what I was thinking. Under. But both
bullpens, 100% ready to go as well.
Okay, yeah, both bullpens rested. And so that's the reason I brought this up is for those of you saying you like the Marlins plus 1.5, that kind of, I could see that. Because if I'm expecting a 3-2 game, a 4-2 game, Marlins plus 1.5 could be in there. So I think I would rather, instead of laying the minus 120, minus 130 with the plus 1.5, just take the under at minus 110. You know what? I'm actually going to write down on my list, too. This one is on an ultra maybe. And also it's Sunday, so I could see this game weirdly being 13-9 for no reason. So it's on my maybe list, the under. The Braves match just aren't they're not playing their best right now. Obviously, we know the Braves are going to be one of the best lineups in baseball, but they certainly don't look at like it right now. So our community definitely leaning towards the Braves. I think it was 63%, 62%, 23%. So heavy Braves. Actually, 10% of you said over. So feeling the opposite of me, I think the under would be the move there if you're playing a total.
The Braves are starting Chadwick Trump. I couldn't believe it.
Wait, well, no, Charlie Morton's on the mound.
No, I know. I meant for their catcher. Sorry.
Okay.
And I've never heard of this guy ever.
Chadwick, that's a name, right? Chadwick Trump. What is his name?
Chadwick Trump. Tromp.
Chadwick Trump. Okay.
Yeah.
Getting it. Giants Rays, and this was a sick one for me yesterday. It was one of my two top bets hit yesterday. Astros and Giants, and I really liked the Giants yesterday, minus 110. I think you bet the Giants too, right?
Oh yeah, Giants were free, dude. That was ridiculous.
Yeah.
I was almost didn't bet it because I was trying to talk myself out of it because of Logan Webb at that price. So I'm glad I didn't.
Yeah, I just feel like people were based on the way Prop Beaver was talking and the way the comments were coming in as well, and Twitter, people were so down on the Giants that the Giants' value yesterday was just at an all-time low. And by the way, as long as the Giants' bullpen arms are going to be available, which they should, why are we not? Are we looking at the same thing again? You got Snell on the actually, the Rays can hit lefties, though, especially at home. So it might be a very challenging spot for Snell.
Yeah, it's it would be Rays team total or pass. The issue is it's I don't know if I really like it. Beaver posted it. It's 1.5 for the first 5 at -130. Yeah, that just scares
Wait,
the
so
shit
Prop
out of me.
Beaver posted raised first 5 team total?
Yeah, over 1.5 -130 on DK, over
Well,
2.5.
That's kind of on. What about the over? It's at 8.
Yeah,
The Giants bats against a spot starter for the Rays. It's a tough spot for Snell. Lefties have trouble going on the road to the Trop. The Rays lineup's dangerous against lefties. Snell, as we know, I mean, sometimes slow starts to the season. We expect Snell to be good, but like I don't know if we could fully rely on him going out there and shutting the Rays down in the Trop right now. So over 8, right?
yeah, I would say first 5 over.
Okay, first 5 over.
If I had to, just
Can
because.
you get that at 4? Or is it 4.5?
I gotta pull it up. I was looking to check the bullpens because San Francisco is good to go, and I'm pretty sure Tampa is too, because they gave everybody the day off. Yeah, Tampa's bullpen looks taxed, but they've all had 2 of the last 3 days off, and yeah, so I don't mind that.
Oh, yeah, Raul, nice work with the NHL yesterday. There was a lot of comments during the NBA show saying they hit on your NHL pick. I didn't even see you give one out, but there was a few comments saying I hit on Raul's NHL picks.
You could get an over 4 at
first 5 over 4.
It's juiced though, but yeah, I don't know.
So I'll
That
just put
1.5
first 5 over or pass
scares
for you.
the hell out of me.
Yeah.
Sundays are always tough, not just because it's getaway day and there's a lot of unpredictability to it, but also because there's always 15 games. So you go through the slate, and I'll end up with the Sunday right when we get off the stream, and I go to post my final ticket on the website. I'll have like 11 maybes written down, and it's like, well, fuck, I don't want to bet 11 games, but like trying to narrow 11 maybes down into like 5 bets is sometimes a challenge. Our community likes the Giants though, 50%, 33%. So was the Bruins was the pick he gave out apparently. So our community likes the Giants. They like what they saw yesterday.
I get it.
Twins, Tigers in Detroit. It's a pick 'em.
It is a pick 'em.
I think the Tigers are overvalued, and the time to fade them is coming. Bailey Ober, I trust him, but I don't trust the Twins bats at all. This team cannot hit. Cannot hit.
Well, you're not having. I'm on Tigers first 5 money line for me. Yeah, it's at -112. It is what it is. First and foremost, I do like Jack Flaherty. I do not think what we saw against Oakland is what we're going to get from Jack Flaherty most of the year. He just gave up 6 runs on 9 hits. He looked absolutely terrible against Oakland. Are the Twins a good team? Maybe. They have some good pitching. But look at their lineup today. Eddie Julian leading off, Ryan Jeffers in the 2-hole, Kirilloff, Margot, Castro, Martin, Santana, Vasquez, Farmer. They're missing all the big bats, all the big boppers. Buxton, Correa. I don't even worry about Eddie Julian right now. So it's just you're looking at a watered-down Twins team at best against a guy in Bailey Ober who has not had any success in Detroit in any way, shape, or form. Last couple years, on the road against Detroit, 5 innings, 11 hits, 4 runs. On the road against Detroit again, 6 innings, 3 runs. Another one, 6 innings, 5 runs. That's all since 2022. So he just hasn't had a lot of success here. Yeah, I love getting Detroit during the day at home. This is one of the spots that I like to play them. So I'm going to go Detroit first 5.
Yeah. You started everything you just said started off with the sentence, I like Jack Flaherty. So everything you said after that just comes with a little bit of sprinkled with bullshit because Flaherty sucks, dude. I don't know how you could take Tigers first 5 here when the Twins have the significant starting pitching advantage. That's crazy to me. Are you trying to goat me into it now?
A little bit, because I really like the Tigers.
Hold on, let me look at a few things before.
I really like the fact that they're at home.
I think you're making a mistake. Oh, the Twins bullpen is used up.
I'm not. The Twins won back-to-back games yesterday on some bullshit. There's no way. They're punting this game. They're punting. I'm telling you guys. I really like this.
Really like the Tigers.
I really do.
With Flaherty? What are you, fucking nuts?
Dude, look at the Twins lineup. Name one guy that even worries about you. Right. And then we all know the Tigers at home.
Let me pull up the lineup. Let me pull up the lineups. Is this lineup confirmed?
Yes. It's bad.
Julian?
It's really. Yeah, that's my guy. That's one.
Isn't Jeffers pretty good?
He gets one hit every 100 at-bats. It's a home run.
I mean, this is an ugly-looking lineup. I'll give you that.
Like, it is bad.
But, I mean, the Tigers have their first 3 guys, but after that, Urshela,
Kerry Carpenter, Parker Meadows. I'll give you Baez is bad, and Carson Kelly's bad.
I'm passing, because I want to take the Twins, but now that I'm looking at the lineups, you're right. I will not take the Tigers at a pick'em with Flaherty on the mound against Bailey Ober, though. I think you're overlooking the fact that we have the Twins have the starting pitching advantage.
I think I'm looking at the fact that the books are pricing it that way, and that price is going up because they think I'm right.
All right. I mean, it makes sense. And the fact that the Twins took both these games yesterday, I mean, it makes sense. It makes a lot of sense. So all right. I'm not on the Twins. I'm
also not going to beat the door down for people to tell me with Jack Flaherty on the mound. I get that.
Why hold it to the first 5 though?
Because have you seen the Detroit bullpen lately? Alex Lang looked.
But it's the same. Yeah. It's mostly the same bullpen as last year, and they were pretty good last year.
But I get that. But I've been watching them on a daily basis, and Alex Lang can't find the strike zone, and I don't want to.
He's not available.
With that. That's just one of my. That was one of my.
Shelby Miller, Chafin, Foley, all should be good to go.
So
if you're betting the Tigers, bet the full game. I don't like that first 5. Okay, next up, Yankees, Cleveland. Another team coming off double headers yesterday. Yankees took both of them, right?
Yep.
Here they are, favorites again on the road. Nestor Cortez. Obviously, we saw a doubleheader yesterday from these two teams, so the first thing we want to look at is bullpen usage. In theory, both these teams should be pretty gassed after yesterday, so Clay Holmes could definitely go again for the Yanks. Maybe Ferguson. I doubt Ian Hamilton goes.
No way.
And Cleveland actually should have everybody. So these teams did a good job managing their bullpen yesterday. Where both these teams' bullpens are actually in decent shape. The Yankees are missing Ian Hamilton. That's it. So Yankees took both of them yesterday. Is this the spot to play Cleveland? I'm not the biggest Nestor Cortez guy, but Cleveland, isn't their lineup really lefty heavy? So a lefty should give them problems, or no?
Yeah, Cleveland's lineup is super heavy lefty. Kwan, Ramirez, Naylor, Jimenez. They took some of them out because Nestor's a little bit better against lefties, so he's a little bit. So they're trying to get a little bit more righties in there. But for me, I'm on Cleveland. I took Cleveland.
I can see that.
Yeah, I took Cleveland at plus 115, plus 118, whatever. 120 on Bet Rivers, but regardless, either way. First and foremost, Nestor Cortez is coming off of an 8-inning game where, most of his starts last year, he was going 4 or 5 innings. So there might be a little bit of a tired arm syndrome coming out with Nestor Cortez. Not to mention the fact that Logan Allen for Cleveland's coming off probably his worst start of his career, or one of them. Again, at home against the White Sox, he just never got off it seems like he never got off the bus. He gave up 7 hits and 5 runs. He only struck out 4 guys. He walked 1. He didn't look terrible, but keep in mind, the start before that, he went on the road to Seattle and on the road to Oakland and went 11, almost 13 total innings, gave up 3 runs, struck out 9. I mean, so I don't really worry about Logan Allen. I trust him. And then obviously on the Yankees side, I don't think that their bullpen is completely full. Clay Holmes, I hope that he comes in. I mean, if you watch that game, the first game that they pitched, I mean, he was so lucky to get out of that. It's absolutely ridiculous. The strike call that was inside almost hit the guy. They still called him a strike. Just an absolute joke. So I hope they bring Clay Holmes in. I've said it over and over. Ian Hamilton's the only guy in that Yankees bullpen that scares me. He's just pitched 33 pitches yesterday. He's unavailable. And then if you flip it over to the Cleveland side, Clase, Goddess, all didn't work yesterday. Barlow only went 13 pitches. So their top 3 arms are available. So I'll take my chances with the home dog that just lost 2 games yesterday at a nice plus price.
Yeah, I can't say I disagree with that. I think Cleveland is the move also, but it's not. People are saying like I don't care about the sweep thing. It's not. That's not what it is.
That has nothing to do with it.
Yeah,
really.
I think Logan Allen is undervalued, coming off a terrible start. Also, Yankees fly all the way up to Toronto for a much more important series tomorrow. So I would imagine they don't want to go into that series and kick off that series against Chris Bassett tomorrow with none of their bullpen pieces. I think this would be the spot to play Cleveland. Yankees took 2 yesterday. I'm adding this to the list. I think I'm going to bet this one.
Yeah, and it's not. I'm just saying that they lost 2 for context, guys. Like I'm giving you I'm trying to give you like the whole situation of what's going on and why I like Cleveland. They played 2 games yesterday and lost. Like Sauce said, they go play a divisional matchup against Toronto coming up next. It's just a shit spot for the Yankees.
Yep. Someone's asked that we're really fading the Yankees. Well, look at the ROI here. Fading the Yankees has been profitable this year.
Go bet the Heat, S. Leave me alone.
Yeah, seriously. Go watch the Heat Raptors game. That's where you're looking at today.
Yeah, go watch a replay.
I just want to make sure that those.
I do that sometimes.
I'm just curious to see if those ROIs are updated, because sometimes the Prop Beaver and Andy are a day behind with those. New York Yankees are plus 38.1% ROI. So don't look at this. That's 2 days old. Because as soon as I said it, I was like, I don't think that's right.
He's gonna be in there just fuck you guys.
So this ROI is 2 days old, I guess.
Hey, those doubleheaders will pop that ROI up real fast.
2 doubleheader wins, yeah. That's a nice one. All right, next game. So it's got to go Mets here, right?
No. I mean, I'm sure you are.
How do you not take the Mets at plus money?
Yeah.
Overvalued ass Cole Reagan.
Oh, now he's overvalued ass.
Yes, he's overvalued.
Wow. As the world turns. Wow.
Budo's dealing. I wasn't a Cole Reagan's guy. That's Prop Beaver. That's not me. I need some nicotine to talk about the Mets.
For me, it'll be first 5 run line for me. For the
that's a bad bet
for the Royals. So yeah,
the Mets are Mets are scoring 10 runs in this game.
Okay, tell us why. Why you think so?
Because they're the hottest lineup in baseball.
Yeah, they are. They are. Unfortunately, they don't have the pitching to go with it. That's why they lost.
Budo's dealing, bro.
Yeah. Good luck. Yeah. I'm just look. Are the Mets really, really hot right now? Yeah. Do I trust that they're going to score multiple runs on Cole Reagan's? No.
Come on.
If they do, so be it. But I don't know. He just went on the road to Baltimore and went 6 1/3 and shut that ass there down pretty well. So I understand that he got hit up against Houston a little bit, but yeah, I don't know. I just don't see it with Budo, man. I'm just not there with him. I just can't get there. I get it, and I know that you're not just being a homer right now. I see the line movement. I see everything. I'm not even talking shit. I just don't see it with Budo.
Mets money line, they're going to score 7-8 runs. If I didn't go to the Mets, I'd go over. I like the over in yesterday's game. I didn't bet the Mets yesterday. Over. Mets are over. That'd be the way to go. Polls all over Kansas City. 64%, 26% Royals. So you guys like the Royals. Go ahead. I invite you to go take that L, fading the Mets. Enjoy your stay. Next up, Reds, White Sox.
Gross. Reds or pass. Just make it quick and easy.
Yeah, I'll run the poll real quick. There's no way in hell I would ever place a bet supporting Soroka.
Nope.
What do you mean Reds or pass? I actually think there might be value here with Ashcraft pitching. What about Reds -1.5? Dude, they're going to score 9-10 runs on Soroka. Soroka's so... Unless you just don't trust Ashcraft at all.
It's not that I don't trust him. It's Sunday.
Just came out. Brewers sitting Adames and Yelich.
I see Willie Adames in the 4-hole.
Oh. Well, someone just said that, and the Brewers are plus 185 now. Let me scroll up.
Yeah, Adames is in. I'm good. Yelich sat yesterday. I don't care about that.
So it's just Yelich?
Yeah.
The line moved 30 cents because of Yelich?
I guess. I don't know.
They're going to give us the Brewers at plus 190 now?
No, hold on. Now you guys have to switch to the different game now because you got me all messed up.
The Brewers are plus 185.
They're plus 185. So it's maybe moved 10 cents, maybe.
When we did it, it was plus 160. This line 100% moved 25 cents since we talked about it. 100%. Why?
Okay.
I would like to know why. Yeah, Adames is in the lineup though. I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. And Yelich wasn't in yesterday, so that doesn't even really affect me. To be dead honest.
All right, whatever.
It honestly doesn't change my bet, guys. Does the line movement? It's Corbin Burns with Baltimore against Milwaukee. I get all that, but at the same time, I'm not going to pass up on the price. Christian Yelich isn't worth 30 cents. I don't think any player in baseball is worth 30 cents. No. Maybe one of the maybe Ohtani or something when he's rolling, pitching and hitting. But I'm sorry, that doesn't even affect me.
They're saying that our show moved the line. We took the Brewers, so if our show was moving line, it would move the other way.
Yeah.
Well, I'll just put up for this game. I'll put up Reds -1.5 because that's the only way I'd bet it. But
oh yeah, shit, I forgot we were talking about that.
Yeah, well, that line movement was significant enough where we should look at it. But
I really want to say just really quickly about Ashcraft. I would actually trust him on the road before I would trust him at home, to be dead honest with you guys. Just for that. So yeah, it'd be Reds -1.5 or pass.
All right, cool. Everyone's all over the Reds. No one's trying to bet the White Sox, and I completely understand why. Next game. How about those Stros? You should call me the Stros Whisperer. Tried to tell you. You didn't want to listen to me.
I've been doing all right by myself.
That being said, I had the Stros yesterday. How do you not take the Rangers at plus 100? With Eovaldi on the mound. I guess Christian Javier, it's just you can't fade him anymore.
I guess. Just seems really public. I hate public dogs.
No, I know. I didn't. I'm not even saying let's bet it. I'm just saying.
No, I know. I'm just saying
how do you not take the Rangers?
That was my thought. I could get behind an under as well. Yeah. So.
I wasn't thinking under. I was thinking over. These two teams always go over.
Yeah, but we've seen this in the past where, last time they played on Sunday, 3-1. I don't know. It's Rangers or pass for me.
I want to know how Javier has pitched against the Rangers.
At home or on the road?
I'm going to look at both.
On the road, you got shelled last time, and then a couple years back, it's been fine.
His last start against them at home, 5 in the 30 innings pitched, 4 hits. Solid start.
But that's 2022 though too, so it's a different Texas lineup.
Wow, he hasn't pitched against Texas that much.
Exactly.
Why?
That's why I like the under, because I feel like it's like a sneaky spot that they could both pitch well, because it's not like Texas has seen him a whole bunch, and I expect Nate Eovaldi to pitch well as well. So that's where my head
This actually looks like it might be a sharp spot to take Houston, to be honest.
I don't hate that. I really don't hate that.
But I like Eovaldi a lot.
I was just about to say that. The issue is I really think that Eovaldi can shove today, so I don't really know if I want to get involved in that, because if he's shoving and they're hitting homers, it's kind of hard. But both these teams have – the issue is the Texas bullpen. The Texas bullpen is kind of – look, regardless of how they performed, Yates, Robinson, Leclerc is terrible. Like, that is not a good top 3 guys. If any time that you're co-closing, it's usually not a good situation. That's because they can't trust one of the other guys. That's why they're co-closing. So I just don't trust the Texas bullpen. So that's just kind of where I'm at on this one. So it's going to be, and I'm not betting this game, to be honest. I want to bet it. It's probably Houston or pass for me because of how public Texas is. And I do think that Houston has a little bit of advantage in the bullpen, considering Hader and Presley didn't go yesterday.
All right. I mean, I already have 5 possibles written down. I guess I don't need to force this one on a Sunday. This is an awesome game, though. I want to bet this, but because I don't like how when I first looked at it, I was like, oh, you got to take Texas. And then after we talked about it, now I'm all of a sudden I like Houston, and I don't like that. I don't want to bet the flip-flop and then be like, I should have stuck with my original. So
I passed because I was like, man, I first, like I said, really wanted to get involved at plus money. I saw everybody on them. I was trying to get to the Astros. I was like, oh, I could get there. I'm going to pass.
Yeah. Next up, Nats A's. I feel like we've said the Nats won yesterday, right? They were 2-0.
I'm the Nats whisperer. I hit both my bets on the Nats yesterday. What'd I tell you guys about CJ Abrams? Stud.
CJ Abrams is cool. I feel like the books have had this series pegged pretty properly. They had the Oakland favorite in the first game. Then they had Washington favored in the second game. I feel like they've priced these games, this series so far properly. Now, at first glance, I'm like, Alex Wood as a favorite, never in a million years. But the odds makers have had this one right so far in this series. They had Oakland favored in game 1. Oakland wins. They had Washington favored in game 2. Washington wins. Now they have Oakland favored in game 3. So they think Oakland's
going to win. You know why? Oh, pull up the bullpens. Pull up the Washington bullpen. Pull up the Washington bullpen, copy, paste it, let everybody see.
Oh, my God. Yeah, this needs to be brought up on the screen. Oh, my God.
I know. Trust me. I wanted to get to Washington so bad, but there's no way in hell.
So if you're wondering why Oakland's favored with Alex Wood on the mound, it's because of this. So here is Washington's bullpen. Their 4 main arms have all pitched back-to-back nights. So that means if Washington has the lead late, Dylan Floro is going to be given the ball.
Most likely, yeah.
Wow. Well, there's no way I'll bet the Nats. I guess it has to be Oakland or pass.
It's Oakland or pass, and the Nats are on the road tomorrow, and they play the Dodgers too. So, yeah. Look, okay. First and
also,
foremost,
Trevor Williams is due to get hit up.
That I'll give you.
I'm putting Oakland up. I think there's a chance I actually bet Oakland.
Here's the things. Trevor Williams has really bad numbers against Oakland in his career. If anything's past like 2022, I take it with a grain of salt. So 2022 to present, he only has 1 start against them, 4 innings, 4 1/3 innings, 6 hits, 5 runs. It really wasn't good against Oakland last year for Trevor Williams. And he faced him at home, not on the road. So, and if you take a look at Trevor Williams' first 2 games at the Giants, at Pittsburgh, 2 teams that offensively don't really strike fear into you at all. Went 10 1/3 innings, only gave up how many hits did he give up? Only 6 hits so far this year, 3 runs. He is a little bit due. Alex Wood on the other side, a lefty, a veteran, has terrible numbers against this Washington team, but both of them were on the road last year. The one in 2022 wasn't nearly as bad. So he hasn't been terrible to start the year. I mean, he doesn't go deep into games, but honestly, the only people that you have to worry about from Washington's side is CJ Abrams and Lane Thomas. And is Lane Thomas even in the lineup today? I would like to see. I don't think so. Oh,
He's
yeah,
not
he
playing?
is in the lineup. No, he's in the lineup, so never mind. So, yeah, two guys have really, really good numbers against him, CJ Abrams and Lane Thomas. If he can get around those two guys, I think he's going to have a little bit of success today. Not to mention the fact that Oakland's bullpen there's a lot of yellow and green in there, but nobody pitched yesterday, and their best guy, Mason Miller, hasn't went back-to-back days. So he could go 8 and 9. You could get Jimenez for 7, your Carrick for 6, however they want to mix that. So I can see the path to victory to there. So yeah, I'm probably going to end up being on Oakland myself now that I've talked myself into it.
Yeah, I put it on maybe I put it on my maybe list. That might end up as one of my bets that I post on the website when we sign off.
5, 6, 7, and keep in mind, Oakland's not even playing bad right now. 5-2 their last 7, so they're winning baseball games.
Yeah, with that. Well, someone also said Oakland team total over, where they were asking. I could see that too. With Trevor Williams,
with the Washington.
Yeah.
Well, that and the fact that you're going to have,
Right.
You don't know who's coming out of that Washington bullpen either. So,
Yep.
A Washington bullpen that's already terrible, might I add.
Community likes the Nats though. 49%, 39% in favor of Washington. Hope you get a big lead early because I don't know who's closing that game out. Next up.
Trust me, community, I was trying to get to the Nats at plus money too, but the bullpen usage does not lie.
Cards at D-backs. Thank God I left Arizona off yesterday. Oh, actually, no, that was I lost with Arizona 2 nights ago. I got my nights mixed up. Last night I think I leaned Arizona, but it wasn't anything. The night I lost with Arizona was when they were down. They came all the way back and tied it just to lose. Well, here we are. We got Gallen at home again. I can't believe you faded him in his last home start against the Yankees. That was my bet of the night.
Yeah, I also faded him his next start too. How'd that go?
I don't know.
Really good.
It was
Plus
in
160 winner with the Rockies.
It was in Coors Field. Who cares?
Real good.
I know that you want to take the Cardinals.
Yeah.
Toast loves fading Zach Gallen, for those of you that don't know.
Yeah. Cardinals team total over 3.5 minus 130.
Cardinals team total over?
Yep. Cardinals team total over 3.5 minus 130.
You don't think maybe you're just like trying to fade Gallen and you're like forcing it here?
Nope, I don't. Gallen faced this lineup last year. What happened? 6 1/3, 7 hits, 5 runs. Not to mention the fact that, like I said, I don't like what I've seen under the hood from him. I expect him to continue to get hit up. I think he got a little bit lucky in Colorado to only give up 3 runs on 8 hits. And yeah, I think that this. Not to mention, especially with Lars Newbar back in the lineup for St. Louis, I think that gives them that just one more bat in that lineup that makes that 7-8-9 or 6-7-8-9 role a little bit better for them. Jordan Walker started to come around. He had a little bit of a triple yesterday, and not to mention the fact that Miles Michaelis, don't tell anybody, has fantastic numbers against Arizona. In 2022, he had 15 innings against them. He only gave up 6 hits and 3 runs. And keep in mind also, Miles Michaelis is pitching really well this year. He's faced the Dodgers, the Padres, and the Phillies. He went 14 innings. He's given up 9 runs, but 5 of them were the Dodgers. So if you take that away, I mean, he's pitched really well, and the start against the Padres was on the road. So, I mean, unless you're just a Zach Gallen stan, every value is on the Cardinals right now.
I actually might agree with you, to be honest.
Thank you.
Someone said Ryan Nelson's system blew up in Toast and Brock Beaver's face yesterday. Toast is blinded by his hate for the D-backs. Do you hate the Snakes?
No, I hate Zach Gallen. I don't think he's good.
You hate him.
Well, hate is a very strong word.
Yeah, it is.
I hate him as a baseball player when I'm betting on him. How's that?
I'll put Cardinals up, but I actually do think it's the right side.
Not to mention the fact the Cardinals bullpen completely fresh. Arizona went their top 3 guys.
Is it a bullpen you even trust, though? Helsley is good. Jojo Romero, you trust that guy?
Romero's starting to pitch really well right now.
Oh, really they still got Gallegos.
Really well. Romero's at like a 40% strikeout rate, K percentage. Like,
and Payante. I forgot they got some arms in St. Louis.
Yeah, they're not terrible. It's not great, but it's not terrible.
And the Cardinals just saw Ginkel, Thompson, and Nelson last night. Yeah, you know what? I'm putting Cardinals on my list. I might bet this.
I done talked him into it.
Because even if Gallen pitches well, I could still see the Cardinals winning. So, yeah, I like the Cards.
That I agree with as well.
I think there's a chance they get to Gallen, but then you add on the fact that even if they don't, I still think we're in the game. I can get there. Okay. Let's move on to 2 more games left. This one got us last night, man. I mean, we openly said, like, guys, we're just gambling. Let's take the Mariners for fun. So, that being said, I'm sure some people in the Discord were like, we're going all in.
Well, I mean, yeah. I mean, they saw Yoshida. They saw Show on the mound and all that stuff. Like, yeah, I get it. I mean, it is what it is.
I feel like the Mariners had so many chances to score runs in that game last night.
I was just about to say
I wasn't even impressed with Show.
No, I think he got kind of lucky, and I think the Mariners could have scored multiple times in that game. Yeah. So,
that being said, you got Castillo, who really needs a good start, man. Holy shit.
Yeah, I'm on the Cubs here. It's Cubs or pass for me. I haven't bet this. I feel like the number is going to keep on getting better, but yeah, I'm on the Cubs here. I understand the Cubs just used some of their bullpen arms last night, but I'm pretty sure that they will all be available. Not to mention the fact that the Mariners bullpen has been a little bit shaky, to say the least. But Luis Castillo, guys, is not minus 160 or whatever the number is.
40.
51, whatever it is right now. He's not in 160 favor or 140 favorite. Like, I'm sorry. You can say, oh, well, he's at home, Toast. He's at home. Let's just take a look at his last couple of home starts. Bad. Against Cleveland, 5 1/3, 10 hits, 4 runs. Against Boston, 5 innings, 6 hits, 4 runs. Against Texas, this is going back to last year, 2 2/3, 5 hits, 4 runs. Against Houston, 6 innings, 5 hits, 5 runs. He ain't pitching well, and he hasn't pitched well for fucking a year now. So I'm not really worried about Luis Castillo in any way, shape, or form. Does he have good numbers against this Cubs team? Yeah, he does. He has a lot of good numbers against a lot of good teams. Javier Assad on the other side for the Cubs just pitched really well against the Padres. Went in there and went 5 innings. I was really impressed with what he did. 5 innings, 3 hits, only 2 runs, struck out the Padres 7 times. He faced Colorado earlier this season. He blanked them. He went 6 innings, didn't give up a run. I understand it's the Rockies, but it's the only data that we have to go by. And Assad has pitched well. So I got Assad pitching well. I got a lineup that's starting to hit. That's okay. They're starting to hit a little bit better. I still believe that the Chicago, their lineup needs to start hitting, but at the same time, they've kind of been shut down the last 3 games. It's only a matter of time before those bats come. I really think Luis Castillo is a recipe for the Cubs bats to get back going again. So yeah, I really like the Cubs here today.
Damn it. I mean, it's hard to argue with that. The Mariners look like shit. Castillo looks like shit. How do you not just... It doesn't bother you that the entire world is taking the Cubs? Nah, you're right. You're right. What am I doing? Let's go Cubs.
Is the world taking the Cubs?
Yeah. We're pulling at 75% Cubs.
What's those pie charts down there, though?
I mean, that's from this morning.
I haven't bet it yet, but
I'll put Cubs down. I haven't seen one person in the comments say they're taking Seattle. Everyone's Cubs.
Really?
Cubs. Yeah.
Well, then maybe the Castillo situation is out and everybody's smart now. Good for you guys. I'm happy because he's terrible. Terrible.
I'm scrolling up. Is there one person that said Mariners? Yeah. Every single team. Seattle sucks. Mariners are so bad right now. Cubs. Dude, minus 1.5.
Actually, and it's reverse line movement too. The Mariners line's getting worse.
I mean, I'm not betting Seattle.
I'm not betting Seattle.
I'm just a
I'm
little
going to
worried.
pass on the Cubs, but I'll probably end up passing on the Cubs because it's Sunday.
Just judging by the feel, you gotta know that they're taking a lot of Cubs money at plus 120, plus 115.
And now they're giving it to you at plus 130.
I know. I think this is going to be a pass for me. Odds makers seem really comfortable playing against all of your Cubs money.
Yeah.
So, I'm not betting Seattle. I'm just saying, like, I might pass on that one.
If you would have got Seattle at minus 135 or something, I'd be like, okay, I'm good with that. But minus 155, even with that line movement that tells you that the books are on that side, yeah.
All right.
Because if I laid 150 with Seattle and they lost 2-1, I'd break a window.
See, J-Man said, the chat doesn't equal the public. What are the pie charts for then? The point is, do you know anyone betting the Mariners? It's not just a matter of, like, what does the data show? What does the chat show? Who in the right mind's betting the Mariners? It's about, like, following the sport and following the public opinion on things. No one's betting the Mariners. Why isn't this closer to a pick'em?
And why does the line keep on getting bigger? Like, why are they just offering you the Cubs? Oh, you wanted them at plus 115? Here, we'll give them to you 130. Just bet it.
Yeah.
Here, you can have it.
Like, who is betting the Mariners right now? Who is the actually coming in on Seattle, balancing out the market?
You want to know something sick? My uncle has the Mariners at 139.
All right, so that actually makes me feel a little better that there are people out there betting Seattle, but
yeah, he's an idiot. So,
all right, so he's an idiot. Isn't he a Seattle fan?
No.
All right, so San Diego on the road in LA.
Man, these games have been awesome. Like, win or lose, like, if you like baseball, these have been a couple fantastic games. Holy cow.
Both these teams are being about, the plus 135 with Pooh Darvish. Is it Paxton a lefty too?
Oh, you don't say.
Dude, let's do it. Let's do it. I'm down.
I already did it. Beaver's down too. I'm pretty sure.
You know, he skipped out of the show. We don't have to talk about him. Padres up.
Yes, sir.
Padres crush lefties. Let's do it. And there we go. All right.
And then just go ahead. I was just going to say, just on top of that, Padres 100% bullpen good to go, which is one of the things you always want. For the Dodgers, Evan Phillips, Daniel Hudson, that's your top two arms, your closer and your setup man. They will be down today. They went back-to-back days.
I'm taking the Cubs off. Okay. Cool. Let's do some community parlay. A Sunday community parlay. It's gonna be. We got 15 games, so there's a lot of options here. This is gonna be quite the community parlay. So we got Phillies money line. They like the Brewers. Put the Brewers money line even at plus 185. They like the Angels, even though me and Toast like the Red Sox. Rockies, Blue Jays. They like the Blue Jays. All right, first leg of the community parlay. Cast your votes. Someone keeps saying 25% boost, parlay boost on DK. Are you a DraftKings rep, bro? He said that in the comments like 7 times. Appreciate you looking out, man. No, I'm not doing the NBA underdog experiment. There's a couple teams that I feel like the way they've been playing, like the Knicks at home, they look like they're trying to go into the playoffs with momentum. The Sixers look like they're playing hard. So some of the big underdogs today are playing teams that I don't expect to take the foot off the gas. Like yesterday, there was Minnesota, there was the Clippers, there were teams on there that I could see them not giving out full effort. But the teams that are heavy favorites today, I think the Knicks and Sixers are going to beat the shit out of it. I think they're going to win by 20 plus today. So Yeah, I mean, it worked on Friday night. The Jazz ended up winning. I can't believe I didn't bet it. I got so many thank yous. People are like, dude, that underdog experiment, that was awesome. I didn't even personally bet it. I didn't make $1 on it, but I'm glad other people did. And they put the Brewers at plus 180 in the community parlay. Yo, you guys are nuts. But all right, I mean, I'm on the Brewers too. I don't think I'm actually. I might bet them. How do you not? How do you not? The line movement scared me. That's what I have the Brewers on my list. But how do you not bet them?
I don't know.
What the hell is that line movement? And I'm usually who cares about the line movement? You know, but 30 cents? It's not like it moved like minus 135 to minus 140. 30 cents.
As long as Adames is in there, like, I'm good. Like, I'm good with Hoskins, Contreras, Adames, Gary Sanchez. Like, I don't know why I'm over.
A couple of these lines have moved, by the way.
I know. That's why.
So
I'm
Tigers and
redoing
Twins was
VIP.
a pick 'em. Tigers is actually minus 127 now.
I know. I'm like having to redo VIP as you
Yeah,
talk. I'm half paying attention.
Yeah, I have a bunch of picks typed up. I'm gonna have to relook at the prices before I post. J-Man, who cares? The books don't know seam. I like that.
That's facts.
Someone said the line moved because they think the Orioles aren't going to get swept. Well, how did that not apply 6 hours ago? What is
Sucker.
The idea was, how does it change in the last hour? They knew that the Orioles, if that's how they felt, the Orioles aren't going to get swept. Why would they set the price there? Never mind. The idea is it moved in the last hour. So what happened in the last hour?
Are the Reds playing everybody? Because their number dropped too.
Braves money line is the second leg, by the way.
Really? Oh shit! I'll do that. Hold on.
I'm telling you guys. Oh, line moved towards the Mets. Mets are the side. I'm telling you guys are all going to vote Royals in this community parlay. I
100% agree with the Mets now. If you can't get the Mets at plus money right now, the Mets are the side. I'm telling. That's just my personal opinion, but yeah, I'm not saying that because I could care less about the Mets and Kyle. But I'm telling you guys right now, if you can't get the Mets at plus money right now, that's a sign. That's got to be a sign.
Minus 105.
Yeah, that's a sign.
I have a feeling they're going to vote for the Reds here instead of the Royals.
And the Reds, I mean, they're down to minus 154.
I can't see the Reds losing.
I'm about to take them. I think I just minus 150 and say, fuck it. Just eat it. I mean, unless Ashcraft just gets blown up.
Someone's saying everyone's watching NBA action. I don't really think so. I don't think this is a big viewership day for NBA. The big game is the Lakers Pelicans tonight. People will be watching that. But as a whole, there's a lot of bullshit games on today.
Oh, it's because Ashcraft got lit up last year. That's why. Okay.
What, by the White Sox?
Yeah.
Who cares? Robert's not even playing.
I know. I'm just trying to figure it out. That's all. Trying to piece it together what people are seeing.
So Brewers money line, Braves money line, Reds money line, and let's see what the I skipped a game somewhere in there. So we got Cubs money line, Dodgers money line. Oh, Nats Athletic, and they liked the Nats in that one. And then who was the second place? Royals,
Braves,
Phillies. A lot of you voted for the Phillies, so I'll give the Phillies another chance. All right, what's the last leg of the community parlay? Cast your votes.
Braves, Brewers, Reds. Okay.
Yeah, everyone's watching Masters, probably. Good point. Speaking of which, my top bet, dude, after on Friday, I'd say around noon, it was looking like my Masters bets were terrible. But Xander Schauffele shoots a 70 yesterday, moves into the top 10. My biggest Masters bet is Xander Schauffele top 10 at plus 160, and he's chilling right in there. In fact, let me look at Oh, he probably doesn't tee off to this afternoon. But he's 2 under. He was tied for 7th. So after a terrible start to my Masters bets, all of a sudden my top Masters bet could hit. Just need Xander to play well today.
I need freaking what's his face, Max Homa.
Yeah, Andy bet Homa too.
I need him and DeChambeau. I don't even know how Bryson? They're doing. But yeah,
Bryson was winning after day 1.
I don't know. I haven't paid attention. I bet them both top 10.
Bryson's 3 under in 5th. Homa's 5 under in 3rd. So you look awesome.
I only bet like 75 each on it though.
Yeah, the Masters is hard. I mean, it's fun. So the final poll was damn, who the heck was it? I hit end poll. Now I got to wait for the results. I bet Keegan Bradley top 10 also as well. So
the only reason I swear to God, I bet DeChambeau is he's like one of the only guys that I know. I'm just having fun.
Keegan Bradley could still get top 20. He's only 2 strokes out of a top 20 finish. So it's Brewers, Braves, Reds, and Cubs. What's the odds on that? Plus 1674, someone said.
Yeah, there you go.
So Brewers money line, Braves money line, Reds money line, Cubs money line plus 1674. Thanks everyone for watching. There's an early game tomorrow, but we're not going to do a whole morning show for one early game. It's Cleveland, Boston at 11 a.m. So tomorrow we'll just do the 4 p.m. normal show. And then NBA playoffs Tuesday. We're here. So yeah, let's be sure to bet responsibly today. Sundays are tough. Me and Toast will post our stuff on the website right now. Literally going to hit end stream and go post. I have 7 possible bets. I'm going to probably narrow it down to 4 and post it. So everyone have a good day.